Free your body and your mind. One, two, three. Bounce. Bounce.
Hello and welcome to Only Just Conversations, the podcast where we try to see how many donuts Johnny can eat in 30 seconds.
That's easy, I can eat loads.
So today we're joined by Johnny Hamilton, aka JossiePops. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
That's no problem, thank you for having me.
No, it's like super cool. I love everything you do online, and I thought you'd be really interesting to have on for a conversation.
Well, it's good to be here, and good to get donuts and coffee, of course.
I know, that's like everyone who comes on the podcast, you get a free donut, just saying.
Yes.
So before we start our epic conversation, there is something we have to do first of all.
And what is that?
Gotta roll the theme tune.
We gon' break bread right now. You can get fed right now, pipe down. Travel the world, live and learn. Never know when it might be your turn. Take a chance and believe it. Bleed it when the dream comes, you seize it. Until the dream becomes the air that you breathe, and that's how bad you need it. These are only just conversations. These are only just conversations. These are only just conversations.
So you are a bit of a jack of all trades, like between your modelling and your fitness and social media content. How the flip did you get into like doing everything?
Everything?
Yeah.
Well, that goes back a while. It's a long story.
Hit us with it.
Where do I start?
You've got 1 minute on the clock.
I've got 1 minute on the clock.
On the
right?
clock.
So
elevator pitch. Let's go.
Yeah, go. Well, I was a mechanical engineer, and then I saw auditions for Game of Thrones for a dark, swarthy skinned person with like stubble and muscular build. So that was actually turned out to be Dothraki in season 1. So I was like, I'll give that a try. So I went and I thought, wow, this guy's cool. And I thought, thanks. So I turned up and got sort of like a mini role, very, very tiny, just like extra stuff featured. And then, from there, I realised how cool the film industry was, because it was very much doing engineering and working on like computers and 9-to-5 CAD stuff, which wasn't giving me the kicks. So, I seen had a wee taste for the media side of it. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I signed with an agent and went to London and became a fitness model and blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah. Super awesome.
Very good.
I did not know that story. I didn't know you did the whole Game of Thrones thing. That's super cool.
I did Game of Thrones for, I think I got through to they're putting out season 8 at the minute, which I have had extras calls for, but I think I did 6 seasons of it. So
that is amazing.
In 6 seasons, I think I'm one of the few people who's near enough played every like character. So I've been like Stark, I've been Dothraki, I've been everything, you name it, and I've done it.
That is so epic.
Even I did a couple of wee stunt things on it, which was quite cool, which spurred me on to want to be a stuntman, which I started training in and then realised is very actually hard to do.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to do. Not more so what they require of you. But it was interesting. It's cool.
So cool. Whenever you were in school, was this like, what did you want to be?
School is awful.
I know, I hated school. I despised school.
Yeah. I didn't like early school because I was sort of bullied younger years for being.
Yeah, me too.
Chubby. And then I sort of realised that to become Mr. Cool, you had to sort of be a bit outlandish and be a bit of an outlier and do silly stuff. So nothing bad, of course, but just I became a bit more of a raker, and my popularity stemmed through that, which in later school, which I didn't so mind, but I never really bought into it. Yeah. And then careers advice and stuff, they never really actually, our careers advice was hopeless once again.
Mine was so bad.
I was due to be an architect, and then I was told by my teacher, go and speak to this other teacher. She had said that you basically I'm paid more as a teacher. Yeah. So it wasn't driven by money, but at the same time at that age you feel that money is life. Yeah. So I decided not to be an architect then, because I may as well be a teacher. Then I went down the Marines route, and I was offered scholarship through university to do engineering for the Royal Navy. Yeah. I turned that down because I had to give them 5 years after university, and I didn't want to give them 5 years after university. So I thought, well, if I still want to do it after university, I'll come back and I'll go straight into the Navy, because the position was there, but I just didn't owe them 5 years because I didn't have the scholarship. And after university, when your eyes are open to the manic ways of life in general, So I decided, nah, it's not for me. And then, so I had an engineering degree. And then after that, I just basically, became an engineer. Didn't like the whole hierarchy of having a boss. So went freelance, did freelance for ages. I didn't like the whole just industry I was in then. So I steered my way to freelance, which was good. And then I steered my way out of engineering into the gym side.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then modeling side and whatever.
It's a super cool story. It's actually like really funny because I actually relate a lot to the whole school and careers advice thing, because when I was in school, I got the worst careers advice. I was told I should restore old paintings.
You were told?
I should restore old paintings.
Right.
So I was
think
like,
I was going to be a spark or something. That told me about.
And then it was like, oh no, you should be a dentist or you should be a lawyer. Like, you know, it was always money driven, or the guy was like, okay, your two best subjects are biology and art. So if you put those together, you know, restore old paintings.
Nude paintings.
Yeah, it just does not make sense to me. But it's so backwards, and I feel like I am such a I hated school because I was bullied as well. So I think, you know, times have changed.
Screw the bullies.
Yeah, exactly.
Bullying sucks.
Why did you decide to start sharing online?
Well, I suppose I realised that the way to get to people is through, there's an easy means, like you can do all the old school stuff, like paper advertising and business cards and stuff, but it doesn't really get out to the masses. And when you realise that social media brings people from the other side of the world right to your doorstep, and when you're getting replies and messages and stuff from people who almost beforehand seemed impossible to get at, you know, like how do you get to someone in New York who's really famous, and now you can just send them a direct message, and if they're reasonably cool and think you are, then you might get a reply, and it sort of shocks you.
Yeah,
but
that's how we met. I sent you an Instagram message and was like, you need videos edited.
But you always take things like that initially with a pinch of salt. So you really got to read into it. So
100%.
It's not putting off anyone who sends me a message, but I might do a bit of like
investigating.
work, a little bit of trolling and investigating to see if the person's legit. Because yes, you can get a lot of crazy messages, but then you can quickly tell people who you get along with because they're normal, and it's good to be around motivated people as well. And I seen even from your message when you were reaching out, it was motivated, and that maybe a name bomb in there, which was like, yeah, right. But when I found out that there was substance to that, it was definitely. Some
people don't take you seriously, so who cares if you put a little name drop in there?
Those are the ones who are actually going to be suffering, the ones who don't take you seriously.
Exactly.
Because you can tend to find the ones that make the storm, the ones who just go and do something about it. The people, you'll always have naysayers, and haters gonna hate. You always get people, and people sort of doubt your capabilities too, but in your head you know that you're very capable. You don't want to blow your own trumpet. You don't want to sound as if you're like, oh, I'm always motivated, always positive and stuff. You know that there's more to you than just a 9-to-5 job. And by the naysayers telling you, you're never going to make it, you're stupid, you know, you're going against the grain and stuff. Well, it's against the grain rules, like that's where you get places.
Oh, 100%.
Because if you go with the flow, then you're not really gonna break boundaries. You're not gonna break down the walls.
You're not gonna create anything fresh. It's like, I remember there was this one particular guy that I went to school with that would always tell me like, why are you doing that? Like, it was everything I did was like a question of like, why are you doing it? And I just knew you just have to trust yourself in it, you know, that this is going to mean something someday. Like, I remember whenever I was doing vlogs in like primary 6 and people were like, why are you talking to your camera? And I was like, have you not seen the hundreds of other people that do it? At that time, very little people did it online, but it was still a thing. And I just knew that it would become something. So as long as you trust yourself and you genuinely love what you're doing, I think other people tend to accept it, you know, more so. So I mean, I love all that you're doing on social media. You're so motivating. Like, see, whenever I see your Instagram stories in the morning, I'm just like, ready to take on the day.
It's normally the Monday ones, but then you see, like, I've had a load of people, like, obviously the talk comes off quite a bit, but it's sort of, I know, sometimes that could seem a bit cringy, but there's a lot of, for all the people saying that, why are you doing that? I'm getting as many messages saying, wow, you're so motivated, you're so cool, and it's more of a cliche, cheesy thing now, which I'm living up to, because on the Mondays it's always like a try to get motivated for the Monday thing. It's now become a thing where people are almost, if I don't do something, I'm getting a message saying, why are you not doing it?
Are you alright?
And exactly, it's like, you live. But it's strange because then weird things come from nowhere as well. Like, you think you're doing a stupid thing, I'll just do a wing it video, and then the ones where you're doing something stupid and not taking yourself seriously are the ones you always get the most messages come through. It's like, well, that was hilarious, or why are you doing that, or and you're like, God, that was what I get on, but don't record it like.
That was like, I saw one of your stories was you dancing around a Greatest Showman, and that made my day. I'm obsessed with that movie. Like, I love it so much. Great. Isn't it unreal?
It's amazing.
But I saw that and I was like, I wish I had that, like, not energy, but like confidence to just get in front of the camera and dance to Greatest Showman. It was amazing. I love that. How do you turn it on? Like, or is it just like what you're like all the time, or?
Yeah, you see, a lot of the time, like my wife would say, she kicks off because she almost says I'm too much and stuff, but not too much in a bad way. Just it could probably be quite intense because I don't know. It's not even a lust for life, although I do love life, but it's just, you generally, I don't know, if some decent music comes on and you feel like you need to bounce around to it or something, you just bounce around to it like that.
So good.
Just stupidity, I think.
Yeah.
I think taking the mick out of yourself is key as well, because you've got you, this is what you're given, so you may as well be a dick with it. In simple terms, like, so yes, I don't care if someone says, oh, you're dancing around with a mop, or you're jumping through doing this, because if anything, it's like, well, I was actually doing that without the music or without the video. So it's almost like, well, I'm just showing you a bit of my life by
making something fun. You know,
exactly.
It's a difference. I just love it. Like, I think it's hilarious, and it's fun. Do you know what I mean? And it's a break from that serious sort of.
If you were asked the same question, like, would you do that without the camera there? Yeah. So I'm actually just hit and play to what I'm doing anyway, because I'd said to my mate, oh, I'm in early, I'll clean the gym for you, which was the story of that other day. The other day's mopping and dancing that.
What's something you're obsessed with? An obsession. It can be anything. I've said that I ask this question every podcast because I love it. It could be like a food, be a drink, it could be a person, it could be a place. Anything.
I want to immediately say the gym, because gym is life too, but at the same time, I would go to the gym. I like trying different stuff. So I would be one week trying, I don't know, breakdancing, next week trying lifting weights, next week trying gymnastics, different things. Anything that sort of motivates me. What am I obsessed with? I don't know if I'm obsessed with the gym. I love coffee, donuts. I'm like eyeballing this donut, which is like,
donut, it's fine.
I just can't get out because I don't think it would sound good in the microphone to be like, but obsessed with. I don't know, just chilling, and I just like chilling. And if I don't get that, if I don't get my quota of like downtime and relaxation, I tend to not be as buzzed up.
I don't know, I think I'm obsessed with Instagram at the moment, just in general.
You're obsessed with
Instagram?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm obsessed with Instagram at the moment. I think just I don't know, like all my attention is going towards Instagram rather than like most other platforms, because I think it's massive for like underpriced attention and everything, you know.
Right.
What about you? What's your favorite social media platform?
Well, definitely Instagram.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, should I go into the thing? Yeah, right.
Just go into
Instagram's cool because it seems that you can reach everyone. The likes of Facebook, I'd started a Facebook page and was really trying to push that, and then I realised that Facebook have this like, unless you pay us money, your reach is like one person, and it just seems ridiculous. So I understand why, because it is a business, and if I was going to be putting an ad in a print press years ago, I don't expect that for free, so we'll get what Facebook's at. But for me to push anything on Facebook, unless it's through my personal profile, which I recently actually moved my page to my personal profile, just so that people could see it. So unless I pay on Facebook, it doesn't seem to want the deal with me.
I completely agree. I do think though Facebook is great for underpriced attention. Like it's a lot. It's a lot less expensive than what it is to put, you know, an ad in a newspaper or any type of print. Do you know what I mean? So I actually had my Facebook ad account hacked about like a year ago. So I'm not even allowed to reset my ad account and put ads on my Facebook page anymore. It won't work at all. So I didn't feel like I was even getting a lot from it anyway. It's like Instagram has amazing discoverability, like through so many ways. You know, there's so many ways.
That's it. Well, Facebook for me, it was just annoying because it's like, even something as little as £1, I don't want to have to pay £1 for people to see my post. It's just the principle of the thing. It's like, well, surely this should be open to everyone to see if they want to see it. If they're following my page, they should be allowed to see my content. So it's like, is everything I put out have to be an advertisement? So is everything I'm putting out have to cost me £1 to do? Even though it's next to nothing, it's still principle. So that's why I would gravitate towards Instagram, because it just seems, especially with stories, I'm finding my stories are becoming ridiculously popular. Well, stats wise
Yeah.
for me. So it's not me being big-headed again. Like, I am such a big deal, but no, right enough. The stories are getting class views compared to even like interactions on
Yeah.
a post. So I could put up a picture and I'll get maybe 100, 200, 300 likes. But your stories, you're getting thousands, and you're like,
It's
flip
instant.
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's the same for me.
If you can keep the audience entertained, I like how you can almost make a mini video. Like, I love your stories as well, because
thank you
they
so
always
much.
seem to flow, which is cool.
I
So
appreciate that.
Dylan's is good. He was in
Yeah,
earlier.
he was
Dylan's is
doing a
class
podcast
because he
with
sort of, it's almost like a vlog. It's going through
Yeah.
his day. My stories are very much, although I try to link them sometimes, it is very much like individual stories. But because
Still really good though. Like your kind of stories, they pop up throughout the day on my feed, and it's always one of those things that I have to watch. Like, you know what? There's a lot of stories I would skip through just because I don't want to. Like, if something's not giving me pure value, then I'm not going to sit and watch it. I'm so bad. Like, I value time so much, and I want to make every minute of my day matter. Like, that's literally what I'm all about. So if I'm watching your Instagram stories, like if I'm watching anyone's Instagram stories, I want value from it, and I feel like I really get that from yours. So it doesn't matter, like, anytime I go on Instagram, if you post a story, it's the first thing I'm going to watch. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's really good. You know?
Thanks for that. No, it's exactly the same for you. If you know someone is going to give you decent content, you're happy to give your time for that.
Yeah.
But then nowadays, the world we live in anyway, it seems that time is like so key. So you don't want to spend time. If someone's sporadic, yes, he has a good video out, and then next one's just crap and stuff. It's you'd rather, if it's consistently random or good or funny, you know, you're prepared to give your time for that.
100%. What kind of things do you think make a good, like, story? Like, if you were to say, if someone came to you and said, "Hi, Johnny, I want to make Instagram stories," how?
Be spontaneous and don't be staged. Although there is a time and a place to be staged. Like, a podcast will obviously be staged, in the sense that you've got to set up the mics where if we are on film, but you'll see the fact that we're staged in a set camera.
Yep.
Whereas I find with stories, if it's just as you're walking, that's Dylan's quite good at that. As you're walking, you're recording, and it's just more natural. It's
talking about Dylan Osborne, by the way, his Instagram is @DillTakesPhotos. He's really good with Instagram stories. He was on the podcast, so he's pretty awesome.
He is good, but it's more of a flowing video, I find. So something which leads into something, which leads into something, and then it's almost like your day, but it's broken down into stories. And I think the way Instagram works, I find a lot of the views, like, what is it? Not impressions, the
interaction,
the wider reach, or it is impressions, I think. A lot of, like, random impressions or not linked impressions come from, like, how you hashtag it and stuff.
So 100%.
Get creative with that. Like,
you really have to immerse yourself into the community of Instagram, and you know, while you have the opportunity to do it, Instagram could change next week.
That's what I'm worried about.
Same.
I'm worried about that.
If Instagram was to change next week and discoverability was to become something a lot more difficult, you know, like, take the opportunity while it's there. Like, that's my kind of thing, is I panic, say, at the end of the night, if I'm exhausted and I'm like, oh my god, I need to shower, I need to do this, I need to prepare because I've got to work tomorrow, blah blah blah. I have to take an hour, like an hour of my day, because I have the opportunity now for the attention on Instagram. You have to take the time, and if you want it so bad, why aren't you doing it? It's like anyone, if you're listening to this right now and you want the following on Instagram, you want people to be, you know, you want the attention of people, go get it.
We want attention.
I want attention. Give me your attention. Go frigging get it. Like, genuinely though, it aggravates me so much when people are like, oh, the Instagram algorithm changed, I don't have the same attention. Then go find it. Find out what you're doing wrong. You know, it's, sorry, I got really, heated up there, but it's so true, you know.
You tend to find as well, obviously, when you put out, well, this would be more for me. Well, I'm not speaking for the whole world of Instagram, but I find if I put out, say, 10 stories in a day, your first 3 will always be
the best.
Quite higher numbers anyway. And then obviously you'll have the people who actually care, sort of watch them all the way through to the end, which is cool.
I've actually started something recently on my Instagram stories, so I completely agree. Like, for me, it would be like the first couple of the day are always going to get better views. So I started doing my first, like, 2 will be kind of basic. You know, just me talking to the camera or me showing something. Third one, try to get a poll in there. then go on to that
yeah.
leads
Oh, well,
on.
use,
You know what I mean? If you lead the third one on to the fourth one, and then on the fourth one you've got like gifts or something animated popping up, then lead that on so someone's like, oh, I wonder what's on the fifth one. And then my fifth one, I would do like maybe like a video that's edited, like some sort of cool animation like that I've pre-edited on my laptop and then sent to my phone. So I think it's like, I don't know, a lot of people, I hate complaining. That's like one of my main like pet peeves.
People don't want to listen to that. Like.
No, and it's like, if someone's complaining about, like, especially, oh, I'm not getting views on my Instagram story, how do I up my views? And they're like, create different content. Like, stop posting 30 videos in a row of you going, so I went to the shop today, I'm in the shop, and then I'm buying this from the shop, I just got back from the shop. You know,
a way to tell a story is not by telling people what you're doing in the story. The story should tell that for you. How you set up your shot should establish what you're doing in that shot. Like, I'm drinking coffee at the minute. I don't need to say, like, on a really framed picture that I am drinking coffee in a coffee shop. That's pretty obvious if you are drinking coffee in a coffee shop. Yeah.
No, I completely agree. Like 100%. I think it's all about how you present yourself, and you're doing a really amazing job of it. Like, as I said earlier, like at the very, very start, like you are a jack of all trades. Like between your fitness and your modelling and your social media content, I am getting into fitness. Like I was so into it last year for a period. I feel like I go through periods of time where I'm either really in it or I'm not dedicating my time to it. What is your advice for someone who really wants to get into that sort of fitness journey and change how they look and how strong they feel?
Well, it's consistency. That's the biggest, like, of all the clients I've had, there's one client who regularly turns up, and I would say that she probably doesn't really like exercise, but I know out of all my clients, she's getting the biggest results because she's consistent and turns up. And I suppose it's the same with social media too. If you're consistently putting out stories, and it's people become reliant, and it's about forming a routine. So if people, once again with stories and with fitness, if you form a routine, you're not going to break it because it's part of your day. If you wake up every morning, you'll probably go get a coffee, bowl of cereal. That's part of your routine. You do that without even thinking about it.
So it's just trying to work it into your routine.
It's just make it part of your day. And initially, the first 2 weeks will be hard. So you're like, oh, I've got to go to the gym 3 times today, or 3 times a day. Yes, well, because we all do that. But I
don't think I can commit to that.
Yeah,
but
I might not commit to that myself. But you would do like 3 times a week, and you'd say like some of the workouts I do, for someone who's totally not buzzed towards working out, I know that 30 minutes is long enough if you go in for a crazy HIIT workout or something, but obviously you need to be suitably warmed up, etc. and stuff. But
consistency.
Consistency is key.
That's like something that for years I was saying, oh, I am consistent with what I post online. I was not. Just relating it back to posting online. Consistency is everything. Like it literally is the key. Like for me, I sort of went full on. Like I've been doing YouTube since I was like primary 6. Like whenever it first came out, like there was no content on YouTube. It was like the only person who'd ever been famous was Justin Bieber. Like that's literally the only person. And of course there's people that had really like popular videos, but like max, and I mean max, was 100,000 subscribers. It wasn't not a big thing unless you were like, you know, Rihanna, like Vivo, do you know what I mean? Like you weren't going to have over 100,000 subscribers. It just wasn't a thing. So I think it's changed a lot, and with that so is my content, and I have become so much more consistent in what I'm putting out, and now I'm kind of like have to go headstrong, and I'm going to have to do the same thing with the gym. So like you've motivated me already. There
you go.
Whenever you relate those mindsets together, I'm like, I can do this. It's fine.
Well, it's easy. You can, just like you say, before you go to bed, you need to, if you're obsessed with Instagram, you need to find that hour before you go to bed to do that. Then you need to find that 30 minutes to go and work out. And even if it's something, it doesn't have to be go to the dreaded gym and do the same thing as everyone else. If you're just even going for a fast walk or something which is making you move, something which is you enjoy, even dancing around your bedroom, it's still exercise. So if you say consistently each night, I'm going to dance around my bedroom for 30 minutes, awesome, there you go, you're doing exercise.
I've just found my new favourite exercise
workout.
Perfect.
Like Zumba room.
Yeah, oh my word, yeah. I've just, you know what, guys, new merch coming out. It's Zumba
room. And it's literally your own made up Zumba in your bedroom.
So I'm starting a new YouTube channel. It's called Only Just Fitness.
Starring JossiePops.
Doing Zumba room. Why is your name JossiePops?
Oh, that's the good
one.
How did
that
always
come
get
about?
That right. So I either get JossiePops, Pops, JPops, any of that. It's literally from my mum's pet name for me when I was a kid.
Okay.
So when I was a young child, she used to JossiePops. So then that stuck.
Amazing.
And then I was like, right, I can fight this and like try to hide it and like dig it like way deep down there so no one finds it, or I can literally just embrace it and say, yes, right, what's your problem? So
love
it's
it.
Pops. Pops for short, or JossiePops, whatever you want.
Fab.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I didn't know the story, and it's very interesting.
No,
That's
you
the
know
same. Like my first social media sites were all Lulabella, because that's my nickname. What my parents had for me.
What
like,
is it?
Lulabella.
Lilabella, cool.
Yeah, that's gone.
Oh,
I
that's
think,
not now.
no. Oh,
That's your name from now on, Lilabella.
whenever I was I think it was about 2 years ago, I decided I'm done with that nickname. Like, I need to, rebrand. So,
Yeah.
well, I think I started thinking seriously about social media. Like, I always knew it was a thing I wanted to do, but it was more of a hobby.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking more seriously about, like, I really enjoy this. If I could do this as a career, why wouldn't I?
That's it, yeah.
It's kind of thing, like, I would do it for free, but if you can get paid, like, everyone, like, some people
Hell
watching
yeah.
this is probably, like, judging, but, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to be? So that's whenever I really changed everything and decided to go full swing on OnlyJustLucy.
Yeah.
And then from that, everything sort of developed around Only Just.
I was actually speaking to a couple of people about you, of course.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so kind.
Yeah, and all of them said that Brandon's class.
Oh,
because they said
really?
it's
Oh, my
only,
word.
or only just, it's only just conversations. That's
Yeah.
I thought that's quirky as anything name like. So when you approached me about this as well, it's like, oh, I want to make a podcast. That's not you, by the way, but if you picture the way that would have been, I want to make a podcast. It's in the studio. It's all this, and it's like, oh, right, dead on.
You'd
yeah.
be scared. I would be
Yeah,
anyways.
there's a bit of a intimidation behind that.
Yeah.
Like I've done a couple of radio work before, and going into their studio and their sound booth and stuff's pretty sort of intimidating.
Yeah.
It's intimidating the first or so time, then you get used to it. But the likes of setting up in a coffee shop with a
Donuts
donut
and
in front of you,
coffee.
still teasing you. It's still teasing you. Yeah,
That's
it's so
the whole
much more
point, though.
relaxing, and the fact that even you're naming your brand only just conversations. The fact that you're saying, "Well, do you want to come for a conversation?" Hell yeah, I
Yeah.
love going for coffee and conversations. That's
So,
my life. That's my obsession.
Oh, yeah. I agree,
Conversations
to be
and
honest.
chatting. Because when I was in the 9 to 5 world of computers and stuff, your conversations are pretty lack because you've got a power
Yeah.
trip boss wanting you to look at the screen more than you can physically give into.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, I work full time as a video editor, so I'm looking at it like that's my 9 to 5 job.
but do you enjoy that?
But I
That's-
enjoy it, so I love it.
Yeah.
But yet again, like after 6 months, of going full swing, and I mean doing 18 hours a day, like every day,
Yeah.
I break down. Like I have a breakdown every so often, like as people do.
Schedule breakdown, of course.
Schedule breakdown, yeah.
At
So
9
I
o'clock
think
on
I'm
Monday,
due. Give me like 3 months. I think 22 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Awesome.
hope that doesn't happen.
We'll
just
be there
what-
to support you.
No, but it'll just like I do crack some days, and I just need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So like I need to have that time where I'm still being productive. So like what we're doing right now, I love it, and that's why I love this whole vibe of a podcast is meeting new people. But
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with coffee and conversations.
Yeah.
And I just love the reason
That's
it's
a good obsession. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
There you go. That's strange because obviously when you ask that our question initially, it's like, well, I don't know what I'm obsessed with. Other people could probably tell me better what I'm obsessed with than what I
Yeah.
could. But then when you put it like that, yeah, coffee and
Yeah.
conversations.
so good.
Yeah.
That's what I just love. I love how laid back this all is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's
way
why I
better.
wanted to have
Way
only just
better.
conversations as the name. And it's like if anyone listening takes something from it, then great.
Yeah.
But if not, I'm just having a conversation.
See, I think with life as well, life's so stressful and tense and everything's so scheduled and stuff, and it's sort of hard to deal with. But when you break it back to all what it is, which is just a conversation or it's just a
Yeah.
time to chill or a catch up or whatever. But
We just had a little bit of a donut break. Jossie's
I'm still
digging in.
having it.
Yeah. What kind of donut is it?
it's actually, I think it's maple glaze with bacon on it anyway.
It's got
There's
bacon on it.
which
Yeah.
seems ridiculous, but I'm a convert.
Yeah.
Definitely bacon on donuts seems to work.
I mean, like a little bit of salty, sweet. Works kind of well together.
Yeah.
Is that an obsession?
I wouldn't say an obsession yet, but it could probably quickly become one. It's like I don't really eat McDonald's, but if I do go to McDonald's, which probably was about 3 years ago, I would have bought French fries and McFlurries and dipped the French fries in the McFlurry.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks this is ridiculous, but it's not.
No. It's good.
That is life. What way are you hoping to go with Only Just brand?
The Only Just brand?
Yeah.
To be honest, I think it's going to be a whole process. So it is who I am now, and it is what I'm completely in love with. It's an obsession. I mean, I think it's going to develop a lot over the next 10 years. I don't say, like, obviously I have only just conversations, podcasts. I have Only Just Lucy. I have my own media company called Only Just Media. It's just started, and it's going in a way I didn't expect it to. So I have a lot of people that have reached out just wanting me to make Instagram stories for them, or make like Instagram square videos, and I love that. Like micro content, I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
So who knows? Micro content agency, like
Very
anything.
good.
And let's see, Only Just Fitness. You know, that's going to be another.
Just Fitness.
I'm just kidding. I'll maybe let you take that over,
With
right?
Zumba Room.
Zumba Room, yeah.
That's crazy.
So crazy. Anyways, I literally have never had a break in between one of these podcasts. My head's just melted from like
Fried. Melt.
Right. Is there anyone in particular on social media at the moment that you're watching that you are really enjoying and think, you know, you want to kind of share what they do and give them a little cheeky shout out?
On a bigger level, Casey Neistat, his stuff is, I think it's my obsession in New York as well.
Obsessed.
I've been, was it 5 times now? I proposed to my wife there. We were supposed to get married there, but we didn't. But it's just such a cool place.
Yeah.
It's a place where you just feel at home immediately.
Oh, I completely agree. Yeah.
You either like it or you don't. When I was in London, it was good because it's got the big metropolitan feel, but it's not even a touch on New York.
No.
Like. And the fact that Casey Neistat's backdrop is
New York
like
City.
New York, and he's on one of those hoverboard things. That's just so cool. And he's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, with him, you were talking earlier about like, why would you watch a story where someone's negative? You're not watching his negativity in any of his stories, which is sort of feel-good factor.
But I don't feel like he tries to hide the negativity
He
either.
doesn't. No, not
I feel
at
like
all.
he's not afraid to say it. Like I remember he was talking with his wife Candace about how they needed like marriage counselling, and he was laughing about it, and he made it funny. But yet again, that's not really like necessarily a positive thing. But he turns everything into positive. He's all about mindset. He's such a good mindset in terms of like making everything into a positive.
Well, that's it.
Looking for the funny side.
He's an easy watch, and because he's obviously an editor by trade, his stories and stuff are great.
They're awesome.
Yeah, he's just a cool guy.
I mean, vlogging completely changed whenever Casey came out with his vlogs. Like you can see, I think the transformation of like the quality of vlogs went massively up.
Completely. But so much so, I found normal TV like hard to watch, but it was easy to watch. Stick on YouTube and watch like on your big screen at home. Watch actually just his vlogs because they were quick hitting and good. Yeah. You know, and then
New York City.
New York City.
Oh, I just want to get back to that. I lived in New York for like 4 months last year. I was like working at a videographer at a summer camp in upstate New York, and then stayed in like Queens and Brooklyn for a bit and explored Manhattan. I am in love with that city. I'm going to go back in like the end of June, start of July this year.
I think I'm more in love with that city.
There's no possibility. That's
so we have a love of New York
City.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love it. What's your favourite part about New York? Or like why in general do you love it?
Just because, like, this sounds daft, but you can be who you are in New York and no one gives a damn. Yeah. And that's what I think Northern Ireland is still, it seems to be about like 5 years behind like London anyway. But it's still like, I could walk around here with a camera on one of the gorilla pods or something, and you definitely will get looks. Not that would stop me doing it, but it's still very much a shallow-minded place. Cool place, very good. I could tell you a whole story about that, but just Northern Ireland's cool, but it still needs to. Yeah, it'll get there. But
no, I completely agree. We're totally behind. Not just like metropolitan. Like the reason we're sitting in Guilt Trip Coffee right now is because it's probably one of the coolest spots in Belfast, and it's literally just donuts and coffee. Yeah. Like any other place could do it, but they don't have the initiative to, and they're they're so stuck in their Ulster fries and Guinness, which. You need to adapt with the changing world, and I think that's why I love New York so much, is because it's ahead, and whenever I was there, it's just buzzing as well, and I have such a all work kind of vibe, and it's who I've always been. Like I love being driven, and it's something that I pride myself in, is that like I love work, and I love the feeling of progress and the whole process behind work, and in New York I feel like a lot of people are the same, and you can just walk through certain businesses or buildings and it's like, wow, I've got the buzz.
It's the fact as well, no one cares, and anything goes, and that's all on a positive level, but you can either take that bad. Some people don't buy into New York simply because it seems so impersonal, but the impersonal is what I like,
I know,
because you can just go around wear your
Yeah.
flamingo hat or something, whatever you
Yeah.
want. Yeah, because
I
we
know.
all own flamingo hats.
I
Definitely.
mean, we've just found Johnny's deep dark secret.
Love flamingo hats. No, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So you can just walk around and do whatever you want, and no one really gives a damn. But that almost is the feeling for me of freedom,
Yeah.
where you can just get lost in something. And I find here you could feel like you're constantly under scrutiny
Yeah.
if you were walking down the street with a flamingo hat on.
Yeah, everyone would kind of look and stare.
Yeah, but they shouldn't.
No,
Yeah.
you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. You're in
Yeah,
person.
exactly.
I feel like I've recently been trying to find that New York buzz. Like I'm always trying to find
Yeah.
it because I don't live there and I want to live there. You know, obviously, but I've trying to find people. Like I found a few people that are like New York,
Yeah.
right? Give me a second. This is a concept, right, that I have. It's like the thing that makes New York so great for me is the buzz and you know how you feel when you're in the place.
Yeah.
So if you find people that make you feel that way,
Yeah.
I love
Surround
it.
yourself with those
Yeah.
people. Yeah. Well, that's
So good.
one of life's easy principles.
Yeah,
You're only as good as your 5 best friends or something, or the 5 people
Exactly.
you hang around with the most. Not necessarily 5 best friends, but yeah. So be selective, because
Yeah.
whoever you surround yourself with, then you're gonna.
you're gonna have
Feed
an
off them,
impact.
you're gonna-
I
yeah,
know.
you're gonna
That's
be
like I tweeted something a couple of days ago, and it was don't talk big ideas with small-minded people.
Yeah.
And
Because they will
everyone,
be the
yeah,
naysayers.
everyone loved it, and I was like, what the flip, that was just something that's been on my mind for the past like couple months, and I was like, I finally put it out there, and everyone was like, oh my word, you're so right. And I was like, oh, okay.
I totally
Do you know
dig
what I
that, like,
mean? Yeah, and I think that's why I love this as well. It's
Yeah.
because we get to just like open our minds up and
Yeah.
have a conversation. Open our minds.
subliminal message. Open your mind.
I think for me, a lot of those kind of people are abroad, actually.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of my friends that could be in Australia or in America. I wish there was more of an atmosphere of it in Northern
Yeah.
Ireland. And it's something that I want to work on as well. Whenever Casey came out with 368, which is his new vlog, we're talking about Casey Neistat, by the way, where he's trying to involve like, you know, more creators in one spot in New York.
Yeah.
We're missing that. Like we
Yeah.
totally are. And it's like Power Video obviously is a conference, but they're not nailing it either, you know, and they're doing good in terms of bringing those people over, like
Yeah.
from abroad, but you need to involve more of the community. This is not me bashing on Power Video, by the way. I love
no,
Power
it's
Video,
cool.
like love it, but there's so much more, you know, that I think needs to happen with the community
It's
in
like
Northern
if you
Ireland.
could do like a massive vlog, so you've got like the superheroes like Avengers, and then you make the vloggers ensemble.
Do you know what? I have literally been talking about this with Loney. Loney is the guy that helps me film everything I do, basically. I work for him actually, which is pretty cool. But it's kind of like a cool relationship.
That's a plug.
It's a plug
Chance
at
of
Loney Dude. It's a
promotion.
plug. It's a plug. I have lost my whole train of thought. Oh, it's something I've been talking about with
The
him lately.
Avengers ensemble.
Yeah, it's like trying to make this epic blogger collab. So I want to get a space some point before the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
August. Let's do it in August, okay? I want to get as many vloggers and bloggers in the same spot, have everyone network, and then make an epic video
And do Zumba Room.
and do Zumba Room.
Yeah.
And sell I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Merch.
Go.
Hashtag only just
I agree
merch.
with that totally.
How
I think
cool would that be, though?
It'd be interesting anyway, because
Yeah.
they're doing. I've seen a lot more now as well over here, which
Yeah.
was a rarity. The social media like convention thing. So
Yeah.
they're getting influencers as such to come in and talk about just like we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting for people who don't do this or don't even see this as a line of work. But when you suddenly
Yeah.
realize you can monetize this, I know it's not about money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you can make your living from it, everyone needs money to live. So
Yeah.
there's no point in putting blinkers on and denying that you need money to live.
No,
But
I
at the
completely
same
agree.
time, if you can make a living out of something you enjoy, then yeah.
There is
that's it.
no problem with monetizing your passion if you can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I feel like a lot of people judge you whenever, especially when it comes to vlogging, because a lot of people do just do it to
Yeah.
get famous, and they see it as an easy job.
Yeah, yeah.
Those people are ultimately going to fail. That's
Yeah.
what I think. And I think if you're truly passionate about it
Yeah.
and you love the process of what you're doing, you're going to win,
Yeah.
you know? And I feel like I wish more people had that sort of the mindset, and I want to bring everyone together, you know, and try create more of a community. Like I know there's things in Northern Ireland like Belfast Blogger Brunch.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
then
thing.
I know that Best of Belfast did like an Instagram meetup, like
Yeah.
literally on Sunday. It's like I want to create that sort of space,
Yeah.
you know, and the almost like a platform so that
Yeah.
everyone on that day will be like, okay, use an hour and go make a cool video,
Yeah.
you know, help people network.
An hour to chat and chill, and
I've just created a new business, guys, just saying.
only just conversations, coffee, and meet up.
Only
just meet up.
Only just meet up.
Only
What-
just chilling.
Only just collaborations.
Collab.
Hashtag collab. What are we talking about? Get
Tangent.
going. We're trying to develop a brand, okay, guys? Johnny
Yes, by
is
the end of
like,
this,
you know,
we'll have a brand. And
Yeah.
we're moving
and an
to
event, and we're moving to New York.
to do some room.
What's next for you? What do you think's gonna happen in the next couple of months?
Well, the sky's the limit. Where do we
Yeah.
go? We'll shoot high.
Love it.
So I don't know. There's a lot more happening
Mm-hmm.
recently, which is great.
So you did the NI fitness show.
Yeah, I
Looked
did the
epic.
NI fitness show, which was great. So
Joe
I was on the main
Wicks
stage
there.
with that. And it's good always to meet people like that because you can very much make people untouchable in your
Yeah.
mind. And when you meet them, you get familiarised with this. When you meet them, you realise they're so down to earth and normal.
Oh yeah.
And they're no different to you. Obviously, they could be motivated more and stuff, but there's no reason if you've got that mindset the same to them, you can push that. So being at that fitness show when you're meeting the industry leaders and
Yeah.
realising that you're sharing the same stage with them, you're literally the warm-up gig to him. There's no reason why you couldn't be the main gig to
Yeah.
him, or him be the main gig to you. Yeah, if that makes sense. But you know what I mean. So it's literally you can feed off the fact that it's achievable.
Oh no, it's the best thing. It really is, you know.
Totally.
I love it. Like, whenever I feel for me, the reason I love it so much is the community.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a main thing. It's like whenever I meet people that I know have the same drive and the same passion. This is something that I feel like we've talked a lot throughout the podcast, but genuinely, it's just like, it's an amazing thing, you know, and
Yeah.
the relationships you can build. It's like whenever I went to VidCon in Los Angeles, the pre-day, the day before VidCon, you go to collect your passes, blah, blah, blah. I met this girl, like two girls, and like I met this girl, and we ended up staying in the same hotel room.
Right.
Because we both
like that.
No, but we both like talked the entire day. We all went for lunch, a bunch of us, and had an amazing lunch. Then we went out and like just explored a bit of Los Angeles, and ended up staying together the entire time. And it was
Yeah.
like inseparable. It's just once you connect with certain people, it's crazy how it all happens, you know?
But that's class.
Yeah.
And if you don't put yourself out there, you'll never find that, because if you go through the
Completely.
same thing every day,
Yeah.
and that's not encouraging the 9-to-5ers out there to give up their job and
Yeah.
stuff, but if you do have that dream, if you do feel that you're going against the grain and you do feel that you've got that unease, then you've definitely got to push at that.
Yeah.
Because there's no... People tend, in my eyes, well, from my experience, it's always the money thing. It's like, oh, I can't do that because I need to bring in money. You just find a way. Like, I'm not saying by any means that I'm sorted, but at the same time, I know that by putting myself out there and ditching the 9-to-5 job, I was able to, you go through a couple of months, which is tight, or a year or 2 years, which is tight, but you
Yeah.
still know that you're that driven and you know you're going to go places that you're
Yeah.
happy to take that risk, because
It's having no expectations
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
It's like if you quit your 9-to-5 job, like
Yeah.
don't expect that you're gonna earn the same amount of money
Yeah, of
by
course
sitting
you're
at
not.
home, because you're not good. Like it's so much work.
Yeah.
And if anyone is listening, like if you hate your job, don't be afraid.
Yeah,
Do you know
no,
what? Do you know what I mean?
Ditch it.
Yeah, genuinely. It's like, for me, it spoke to me a lot about school. So whenever I know this, it's not obviously as high stakes, but whenever I was in senior high school, the known thing to do would be to go from GCSEs to A-levels. But for me, I knew from when I was about primary 6 that I wanted to be a video creator. I literally wrote down a piece of paper, it's in like a yearbook, that I wanted to be a singing director because I love
I'm
singing.
not a biology artist.
Not a paint restorer or a lawyer or a dentist, any of that. And for me, I knew whenever I was in my GCSEs, I was like, I don't want to be here. So I did my GCSEs. You know, I put my all into it. I still got the grades my parents want me to get, you know.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do A-levels. I don't want to do 4 random subjects and spend 2 hours working my ass off if I'm not going to get, you know, as good a result as what I want to, or not going to progress.
Yeah.
So I went and did a course in film, and it changed everything. It was like, I knew I was taking a risk, and I knew I couldn't go back, you know, as such. But you know, trust yourself. And if you feel like, if you hate your job, like person listening, if you genuinely don't like your job and you feel like you could be doing something else or providing more value to someone else,
and don't be afraid that if you've spent, like, for a lot of people, they sort of say that if you've got a degree, like I spent 4 years my degree and got into and I know this will seem like nothing nowadays to students who are in ridiculous debt from it, but from my degree alone, I think it was about 16-17 grand of just like degree. So you almost think, right, well, that degree cost me 16 grand, but at the same time you're sort of I'm happy to let that go, because my happiness to me is worth millions.
Yeah.
So if I'm worried about 16 grand just to stay doing a job I hate simply because of the 16 grand, then it's daft. Like, it's
so
madness.
stupid.
Because you think that 16 grand, when you find something you love and monetize it, that 16 grand will be with you in no time. So
Yeah.
you know, you may as well be doing something you enjoy.
If you love it, it becomes easier as well. It's
Totally,
like,
yeah.
I'll wake up in the morning, I have no problem getting up at 5:30 in the morning to go start work. You know what I mean? My problem is I'm a late, like, I'm not an early riser naturally.
Yeah.
I'm a person that'll stay up to 4 o'clock in the morning, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like, if I get home at 10 o'clock and I've just had a full work day,
Yeah.
I'm buzzed. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, now's the time. I'm going to get 5 videos done, you know? And it's so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Right
Like,
now.
yeah, it's like I went home last night and I'd like filmed a podcast. I did 2 live streams last night, and then I got home and I was like, I want to get this video done. So I'm working on a video. It's about my hometown, and I just dove in, and it was like 2:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh my god, I should probably go to sleep. Record a podcast in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you know? Whenever you love it, like, go full speed, and it's
Yeah.
like, that's how you make things happen. So
And on that note, don't rely on anyone. That's
Yes.
what I discovered. And if you can do
Yes.
it yourself, learn, teach, make it so that you can do yourself.
Yeah.
Because when I came back from London, I was all like, I need to get my mates who are involved in this and get him who's involved in this and get. But you quickly realise that everyone has their own shit going on.
Yeah.
So unless you can do it yourself, you'll be limited by the speed of how things are done. So for yourself, Lucy, you would be like, I want to edit this now. Whereas if you text your mate, he's like, I'm sleeping. Whereas
Yeah.
like, well, I'm up to 4 o'clock tonight, so I'm going to edit it now myself.
Yeah.
So try to find ways, even with like photography and stuff. It's always cool to call on favours of people, as long as they're of a similar mindset and
oh, 100%.
want to help.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to get someone who doesn't really feel your vibe,
Yeah.
then although they're good at what you want them to do, so he could be a really good photographer, but if he doesn't feel your vibe and doesn't feel your motivation towards a project that you want him to get involved with, he's just not going to have
Yeah.
the drive to do it. So you could be waiting like 2 months on photos you want to get out that night because
Yeah.
the event is current that night.
I've been through all of that, you
Oh,
know.
it's horrible.
It is.
Horrible.
It's the worst. So I think, yeah. Is there anything else you kind of want to like touch on really quick?
Don't think so. I think
Yeah.
last one, manage your expectations.
Yes.
Yeah. So from the weekend, it was literally the one thing I had learned, that the first day, so there's 2 days of the big show I was on.
Okay.
The first day, I was expecting everything. You
Yeah.
could have had the Queen walking in and knighting me, and that wouldn't have been a shock. It just would have been like, yeah, of course that's going to happen. But
Yeah.
you're sort of then, you leave slightly deflated thinking, well,
Yeah.
that didn't happen, you know. But then the second day was so much more fun, and it was easier, and it was, way
Yeah.
better, and so much from it.
My
So,
kind of thing is to expect nothing.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
that's
and then you're happy with anything.
yeah, that's
Kind of
it.
same concept, you know.
Same concept.
I think that kind of wraps up the podcast today.
that's us.
I cannot thank you enough for being on it. I think it's been super
having me
fun.
on it, yeah.
Yeah, it's been super fun. Anyone who wants to check out Johnny, what are your social media platforms? Plug yourself.
Everything is, all my media is at JossiePops. So that's Facebook. It's JossiePops, JossiePops. And yeah, YouTube, just search JossiePops to see it also.
If you're looking that Monday morning motivation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I check
He's
out the
got it.
stories. I try to keep them ridiculous, and I don't take myself seriously.
they're
so,
brilliant. They're
yeah.
really, really good. So yeah, thank you so much. Again, I think I've said that about 5 times. That wraps up this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening and for joining this journey. Bye.
We gon' break bread right now. You can get fed right now, pipe down. Travel the world, live and learn. Never know when it might be your turn. Take a chance and believe it. Bleed it when the dream comes, you seize it. Until the dream becomes the air that you breathe, and that's how bad you need it. Over here ain't no quitting, ain't no reason, ain't no switching. That's how we live. Tune in, turn it up, and make sure you listen. Over here ain't no quitting, ain't no reason, ain't no switching. Even though we just started. talking. Tune in, turn up and listen. Yeah. These are only just conversations. Yeah. These are only just conversations. Yeah. These are only just conversations. What you listening to? Only just conversation. 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 Only just conversation.